This module is for the Masters in International Entrepreneurship Management programme at the Chemie Business School. So how is MP6062 going to be taught? Well, all your lecture notes are going to be delivered through videos which you can watch through YouTube. You will be asked to review the required video before our meeting session. However, you can also watch all the videos from the very start if you want to. We will meet during our workshop time to discuss how your individual work is going, any issues that you may have, and also maybe to discuss some of the content in whichever video we're discussing and see how it applies to your work. When else might we meet? We can meet during the scheduled office hours, and these hours will be 2 hours in the week, and they will be emailed to you once they are confirmed. I also will have one virtual hour on Skype, and the Skype room is solely dedicated for you students on MP6062, and that is also the name of the Skype room. This virtual office hour, like the office hours in my room in KB 348, can be used to ask questions, get clarification on research methods, your thesis and your strategic commercialization plan. If people are enjoying the Skype room, we can also talk through the Solace chat room as well, and I can email you with times I'm available there. So what is the aim of the module? Basically, I'm introducing you to the principles of good research practice. Now, this stems also from being an ethical researcher, understanding the theoretical principles of research, looking at the weapons or tools of research methodology that you can adapt for your thesis or for your strategic commercialization plan. They can be quantitative approaches, qualitative approaches, or mixed methods using both quant and qualitative. We'll be looking at research design, be it looking at your research instrument through a questionnaire, an interview schedule, if you're doing observation, if you're doing focus groups. We'll look at how to design that particular approach. Through a series of guest lectures as well, you'll be given guidance on information resources, the completion of field work, and then briefly we'll be looking at data analysis and the ethical considerations in conducting research. So there are, of course, a number of key learning outcomes, and these learning outcomes are basically to demonstrate a systematic knowledge and understanding of the approaches to research. That covers your quantitative and qualitative approaches, but also your secondary research approaches. And it identifies one suitable to different research contexts and different research questions. Critically evaluate and understand how to draw upon a range of information sources and conceptual frameworks appropriate to your research. Quite importantly, and one of the measures of this particular module is to prepare a detailed research proposal and work plan for the development of a research paper. And the research paper could be the thesis or the strategic commercialization plan. But also then to show and understand how what we're doing at the very beginning actually helps you right through to the end product. So looking at the continuity between the proposal, the process, and your final product at the end, which is either a thesis or strategic commercialization plan. So what's involved? You will explore the stages involved in the process of completing academic research. So we are going to address choosing a research topic, writing the proposal, conducting a literature review. Now, a literature review is very prominent in a thesis. Conversely, it's not in a strategic commercialization plan to the same extent as a thesis, but you still need to do a literature review briefly for the strategic commercialization plan, such as knowing what reports are out there on maybe your industry or your product or your service. Other issues are where and how to source relevant material, how to map out the literature, and then identify arguments relevant for your research topic. So what is the syllabus? The various research methodologies and philosophies are evaluated to ascertain their suitability for different research situations. We'll be looking at the issues associated with the management of empirical research, such as research instrument design, sample selection, testing of the instrument, gathering the information, how to analyse it, methods of interpreting the data. And you're guided on how to structure and write up research findings, be it for the thesis or for the strategic commercialisation plan. You will be able to construct and support arguments. So the argument for your business idea for the strategic commercialisation plan, or the arguments for the recommendations that you propose in your thesis. And then how to communicate the implications of the research outcomes to different stakeholder perspectives. How is this module examined? Well, this module is what we call an M-graded module. No grade is allocated to it until the thesis is completed. And it is a 3 ECTS credit module, which means that when the thesis is actually submitted, you're going to have an M grade against this, and also against your thesis or your strategic commercialisation plan. And when the grades are submitted, those grades will be reflected in these 2 grades. For the delivery of the assignments for this module, it's on a pass-fail basis. So what are you required to submit? In your course outline, the specific dates are identified for these submissions. You're to submit a research proposal, the name of a thesis or a strategic commercialisation research project supervisor, a research ethics form to the KBS Research Ethics Committee, and more importantly, you have to get research ethics approval before you gather primary research. And then a draft table of contents. They're the only requirements for this module. Late submissions. Late submissions of your research ethics form will actually prohibit you from conducting primary research. There are a small pool of supervisors to choose from. If by the end of semester 2 you have not chosen a supervisor, one will be appointed to you, and this will be appointed by the course director. The downside of this is that your supervisor might not be an authority within your area, and you will only be able to give you structural guidance rather than content advice. So the advice is you go and find a supervisor very quickly. Repeat mechanisms. Should the student not be successful in this module nor submit the required deliverables, the repeat mechanism is a resubmission of the required deliverables. However, your thesis commercialisation research plan cannot be commenced until this module is passed. And it is after the summer resets that you can only start your strategic commercialisation plan or your thesis when the results are out in August. This then would mean that you would not be able to graduate with your class. Do you get feedback? Yes. Feedback will be given on the research ethics form on a pass or resubmission basis, and this is actually given by the KBS Research Ethics Committee, not by me. With the resubmission, the Research Ethics Committee will provide feedback on what changes are required, should they be required. Feedback will be given on all other elements by me electronically through track changes and/or through audio where necessary.